of Ocha Brigade of improved welfare as he pays unscheduled visit. Anambra Deputy Governor Ibezim calls for collective responsibility of Abga faithful to make the party stronger. Workers demand better pay amid subsidy debt concerns. And on the foreign scene, Sudan faces catastrophe as 100,000 flee war. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and the promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Welcome to the news this morning. My name is Chidima Aranwa. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has commended the staff of Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra Ocha Brigade for their efforts in sanitizing the state of touts and illegal revenue collectors. The governor made the commendation during an unannounced visit to the agency's headquarters in Awka. Correspondent Chibuzo Obidike has details.
Addressing the men of the command, the governor expressed happiness with the positive impact of the brigade's onslaught against touts, impersonators, and illegal revenue collectors in the state. He revealed that the major challenges facing the state are flooding and erosion, tasking them to expedite action towards clearing blocked drainages as well as street trading. According to the governor, the duties of Ocha Brigade are enormous and as such must be carefully carried out diplomatically and professionally, warning that anyone caught wanting will be sacked and asked those who are tired of the job to give way for those who are ready to join in providing solutions to the state. He sympathized with the injured members of the agency and assured them that the 10% increased salary will be paid to them from January till date, as they have shown full commitment to their job.
Okay? Then we must keep on. Health is wealth, and cleanliness is the next to godliness. Our target is that Anambra will become the cleanest state in Nigeria.
For the Commissioner for Environment, Engineer Felix Odimegu, the service of Ocha Brigade has made the enforcement drive of the ministry an easy one, as the agency has shown huge commitment and dedication and asked them not to relent in their quest of making the state livable.
I believe that from flowing from up to down, we will have men of Ocha who are men of character and of reputation. So I charge much more to maintain that integrity.
While assuring the training and retraining of staff of the agency, the managing director of Ocha Brigade, Comrade Celestine Anere, said that in line with the directive of the state government, anyone found compromising of any kind will be flushed out, as the command will no longer condone bad eggs, and encouraged the public to continue to send in their complaints and evidence, assuring that justice will be done at all times. He also assured the staff of the agency that the command is in plan with the government towards staff welfare, admonishing them on the tasks of their job and not to cut corners as they risk being dismissed from service.
As any member of Ocha Brigade collecting money from anybody is an ambo. So, Kachambo, there must be some type of encouragement for our staff. So we'll put all this forward to the government. Hopefully, it's going to have staff welfare.
The governor was accompanied to the visit by his deputy, Dr. Onyekachukwu Ibezim, some ESCO members, among other top government functionaries. In Awka, Chibuzo Obidike, ABS News.
Anambra State Deputy Governor Dr. Onyekachukwu Ibezim has requested the All Progressives Grand Alliance APGA faithful to always prioritize the collective interest of the party over personal gains. The Deputy Governor made the call during the OBZ APGA Stakeholders Forum at Mbauhu, Awka South local government area. Government House correspondent Emmanuel Lokunkwo reports.
Forum is an umbrella body that unites 7 communities in Awka South, namely Nibo, Nise, Amobia, Mbuku, Isiago, Umuawolo, and Ezinato. Deputy Governor Ibezim, who emphasized the need for members of APGA in the area to be more united than ever, pointed out that they can only attain greater heights and achieve their collective targets, both politically and otherwise, when united. He reminded them to always be their brother's keeper, as the party's slogan implies, and appealed to aggrieved members of the forum to forgive and join hands to build Obizi Abga in the best interest of all.
Please and please, let us talk to ourselves first. And even if I want to know so now meeting now,
Speaking earlier, the chairman of Obizi Stakeholders Forum, Chief Dominic Nwoye, thanked members of the forum for their efforts towards making things better, noting that the major purpose of the group is to support the administration of Professor Chukwuma Soludo and make Abga great. On his part, the state deputy chairman of Abga, Chief Tony Emeli Gwele, harped on the need for the leadership of the forum to carry everybody along at all times, and while expressing hope that the forum will wax stronger, discouraged members against acts that can cause disunity and retrogression.
We move forcefully to our expectation. So I advise the Obizi people to stay together, to come together and form a formidable force. Then whatever we have decided to do or play will come to fulfillment.
During the meeting, some of the members, including Chief Ozemena Okafo and Chief Christian Ezenwoke, among others, took turns to make suggestions on how to move the forum and Abga forward. From Mbuku in Awka South local government area, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
The governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, says plans are on to immortalize late literary icon and traditional ruler of Ndikeleong, Professor Chukwu Emeka Ike. Governor Soludo spoke through the Commissioner for Education, Professor Ngozi Chuma Ode, at an event organized by the Nigerian Book Foundation in collaboration with Anambra State Ministry of Education and Nigerian Union of Journalists, Anambra State Council, to remember Professor Chukwu Emeka Ike 3 years after his demise. Emmanuel Chiwata has details.
The governor described Professor Ike as a genius and literary giant who left indelible mark on the sands of time.
What he has done is acceptable within his time of living. And this book will live forever because the prototypes he created are still alive today.
Also, in his speech, the Labour Party presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, urged Nigerian students to study well to achieve greatness in life. Mr. Obi emphasized the need for proper and quality education among the Nigerian students, citing some renowned Nigerians like Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, Professor Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and the late literary giant Professor Ike, who made history and became famous as great writers. He described Professor Ike as a man whose legacies will remain forever and advised the students to strive for knowledge, values, and good behavior, which he said is a ground for greatness.
It is important that you know that one day, all of you here, some of you are going to be famous writer, some of you are going to be governor, some of you are going to be president, anything. That is what the world offers you with education.
Also speaking, the traditional ruler of Onitsha, Igwe Alfred Achebe, noted that Professor Ike's books will live forever, while the traditional ruler of Obosi, Igwe Chidubem Iweka, called for promotion of Igbo language among students, urging them to say no to cultism. In his welcome address, the co-president, Nigerian Book Foundation Board of Trustees, Professor Stella Okuna, said the event availed the opportunity to celebrate the literary giant and his works 3 years after his death, noting that he was a chairman of the foundation.
We call it a remembrance event. Just trying to think about him, remember him, celebrate him, and we intend to make this an annual event.
The NUJ chairman, Anambra State Council, Dr. Odogwu Emeka Odogwu, who commended the Nigerian Book Foundation for initiating the idea to celebrate the renowned icon, called on the state government to immortalize Professor Ike due to his notable achievement. A keynote speaker at the event, Professor Sule Enya, gave a rundown of the literary works of Professor Ike and noted that Professor Ike remains a conspicuous and significant part in Nigerian literary space that should always be celebrated. In appreciation, brother of Professor Ike, Prince Fortune Ike, thanked the organizers of the event for celebrating the literary icon. The literary icon was, until his death, the traditional ruler of Ndi Ikeliong in Orumba North local government area, who used a mixture of lampoon, humor, and satire in his literary works. Some of his works are Sunset at Dawn, Expo 77, The Bottled Leopard, The Chicken Chaser, Anu Ebunwa, The Naked Gods, Toad for Supper, and many more. Performances depicting the works of Professor Ike capped the event.
Youths in Anambra State have been advised to key into the state government skill acquisition programs to become self-reliant. The Anambra State Commissioner for Culture, Entertainment and Tourism, Comrade Don Onyenji, gave the advice when the Joint Campus Council of the National Association of Nigerian Students, Anambra State Chapter, paid him a courtesy visit in his office in Oka. Commissioner Onyenji, who charged them to be serious with their education, encouraged them to organize themselves and harness their potential in the creative industry. He told them to leverage the strength of the various groups and initiate programs that could promote them and their products to the limelight. The commissioner urged them to have a link with the state government by identifying with the various skill acquisition programs of the state, which include One Youth Through Skills and Innovation District programs. Commissioner Onyenji informed them of some of the ministry's programs, including Meet and Greet, a program used to profile all the entertainers in the state for bigger events. The commissioner also encouraged them to venture into information communication technology to make genuine money with their smartphones. On his part, the leader of the group, Mr. Chubuikem Naka, thanked Commissioner Onyenji for his warm reception and informed him of their intended program coming up before the end of the year and appealed for his support and partnership. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Anambra State Health Insurance Agency, Dr. Simeon Onyemechi, says Governor Chukwuma Soludo is in a hurry to attain universal health coverage in the state. Dr. Onyemechi disclosed this when he held a meeting with Anambra Town announcers at the head office of the agency in Oka. Correspondent Chibuzo Okoye completes the story.
Addressing the town announcers, Dr. Onyemechi, who said that they have already registered 183,000 people into the scheme, noted that Governor Soludo has given them a mandate to quickly ramp up the ASHA beneficiaries in the state. The ASHA boss explained that through their mapping, they realized that they have engaged critical stakeholders that have not done much in engaging those in rural communities. Hence, the meeting with the town announcers, who disseminate information to various villages and communities for them to take the message of ASHA to their people for better clarity and understanding. He revealed that ASHA recently incorporated prostate operation into the scheme in order to serve the Anambra better, and made it clear that Governor Soludo is in a hurry to attain universal health coverage in the state. Dr. Onyemechi later gave 1 year of free insurance premium to all the Anambra State town announcers that attended the meeting for them to start benefiting from the scheme, which he described as a catalyst to ending out-of-pocket medical expenses.
Mr. Governor, Mr. Solution, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has actually given us a mandate to quickly ramp up the numbers of beneficiaries of Anambra State Health Insurance Agency. The governor has made a lot of provision towards taking care of the counterpart payment for the Anambra who pay their 12,000 naira premium to register in our scheme. And he is in a hurry to attain universal health coverage.
In their various species, Mr. Isaac Wosu from Oka and Emmanuel Nwankwo from Nanka thanked ASHA and the Anambra State government for doing wonderful work in the state through the agency and promised that they will help to disseminate the information in their various domains. In Oka, this is Chibuzo Okoye for ABS News.
Despite the country's debt burden and lingering confusion over fuel subsidy removal, labor unions demanded for better welfare just as the outgoing and incoming government sought understanding of the workers and action plans. 2 years after the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, raised the alarm that the federal government was broke and printed about 60 billion naira to augment allocation to state, sounded another warning bell that the federal government may not be able to pay workers' salary beyond June without massively printing money or removing petrol subsidy. Speaking at the Workers' Day celebration in Benin, the capital of Edo, Obaseki said Nigerians and workers in particular would face hardship if the government decides on any of this option. He also said that it will be a miracle for the federal government and state government to pay salaries beyond June this year without resorting to massively printed money or removing fuel subsidy. Either of these decisions will bring more hardship and pain to Nigerians, particularly workers. Still on the news this morning, Young Christian Workers, YCW, have been asked to become the change they desire to make Nigeria a better place. Speaker after speaker at the first ever Workers' Day celebration by the Abuja Archdiocese YCW harped on the need for youth to become innovative to change the narrative for Nigerian youth and the voiceless amongst them. We have details of this report from our studio.
Civil servant Chief Ifeanyi Agoha, in a keynote speech on a research for a better life, engineering the youth for innovative and digital performance, urged youths to put to work what the church preaches, be advocates of good tidings and bearers of the value chain of Christian doctrine as espoused by Jesus Christ and Mother Mary. He lamented that the introduction of the new media and its associate brands, instead of complementing on the positive side, the negative impact has exceeded all bounds, and charged them to watch it as they imbibe the intrinsic values.
Quality of life includes the work and life balance, education and skills, social connections, civil engagement and governance, environmental quality, personal security and subjective well-being, income, wealth, jobs and earning, and even housing.
On her part, journalist, the founder, Balm for the Bruised Foundation, Princess Ekwi Ajide, who spoke on 21st century youth taking charge of their destiny, reminded the youth that the world is competitive, hence the need to be creative and innovative, and must put in their best in whatever they do. She asked them to learn to think outside the box so they can carve an inch for themselves by making use of the limitless information on the internet to change the narrative.
I'll say that being innovative is one of the critical skills for achieving success in any business, and it can deliver significant benefits. Innovation can help you solve problems, generate profit, increase your market share, and edge out your competitors.
The Abuja Archdiocesan President of YCW, Emmanuel Anabo, who read the speech of the International President, Clemens Okepo, called on young workers to get involved and raise the voices of the voiceless to create positive changes. He urged them to use the opportunity presented by their slogan, See George and Act method, to train themselves in every aspect of their lives to inspire others. The St. Luke's YCW President, Benedicta Okere, who read the speech of the International President, Paul Mary Williams Onofere, urged young workers to make a difference by seeking God's intervention so that through faith, hope, and charity, they can become the faith driver amongst other youths to work for the good of Nigeria. The Young Christian Workers, YCW, is an international organization founded by Reverend Joseph Kadejin in Belgium as the Young Trade Unionists. The organization adopted its present name in 1924. YCW joins other trade unions to celebrate the first day of May every year as Workers' Day of International Unity and Solidarity.
In the UN said more than 100,000 people have fled Sudan since heavy fighting broke out between rival forces on April 15. Officials warn of a full-blown catastrophe if fighting does not end. A further 334,000 people have been displaced within Sudan. Fighting is continuing in the capital Khartoum between the army and the paramilitary rapid support forces, despite a ceasefire due to be enforced. The UN Special Envoy to Sudan, Volker Perthes, said that the two sides had agreed to enter into talks to negotiate a stable and reliable ceasefire. The Interim Management Committee has insisted that the Nigeria Premier Football League Super 6 will go ahead as planned this month. According to the IMC calendar, the regular season is expected to conclude on Sunday, May 14. There are 2 match days to be completed, but the outstanding match days involved champions Rivers United may force the IMC to adjust the date. Rivers United, who were knocked out of the CAF Confederation Cup by Tanzanians, the Young Africans, last week, have 3 outstanding games to be played. IMC Chief Operating Officer Davison Owumi acknowledged that Rivers United's fixtures will affect their proposed schedule, but remain optimistic that the league could end in May as planned. And just that's about it at news. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Orca. And on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main points again. Governor Soludo has assured the staff of Ocha Brigade of improved welfare as he pays unscheduled visit. Anambra Deputy Governor Ibezim has called for collective responsibility of ABGA faithful to make the party stronger. Workers have demanded better pay amid the subsidy debt concerns. And on the foreign scene, we also told you that Sudan is facing catastrophe as 100,000 flee war. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and the promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's it on the news this morning. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. Good morning.